Hello everyone, welcome to Simplilearn's YouTube channel, and in this session, we will be discussing the tree data structure. Before we begin, let me tell you guys that we have daily updates on multiple technologies. If you are a tech geek in a continuous hunt for latest technological trends, then consider getting subscribed to our YouTube channel and don't forget to hit that bell icon to never miss an update from Simplilearn. Now without further ado, let's get started with the agenda for today's discussion. So we will be discussing what exactly is a tree data structure. Followed by that, we will understand why we need a tree data structure. Then we will learn the tree terminologies. Followed by that, we will understand tree node. Then we will see the types of trees. And followed by that, we will understand the tree traversal. And finally, we will see some applications of trees in real time. I hope I made myself clear with the agenda. Now let's get started with the first topic, that is, what is a tree data structure? So what exactly is a tree data structure? The tree is a non-linear data structure that consists of nodes and is connected by edges. I know it's a little difficult to understand just by the definition, so let me show you the pictorial representation. As you can see, we have the elements, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70, and all these are stored in the tree data structure. They are stored in a non-linear structure. If we had used arrays, it would have been in a linear consecutive way where 10 starts first and 70 ends at the last position. Now, in the next section, we will discuss why we had made to a switch to the tree data structure when we already had a linear data structure, that is array. Now the next topic, that is why we need tree data structure. So there are many reasons why we had switched into tree data structure, and one of the reasons is a linear data structure always stores the elements in a sequential form, that is, one after the other. And in operations to be performed in linear data structure, the time complexity increases as the data size increases. You can see here that, as discussed before, the elements are stored in a linear form, that is 10 at the first place and 70 at the last place. Imagine you wanted to access the element 70. Then using the traversal, you had to start from the first position, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, and slowly at the end is 70. So accessing that particular element is really time consuming. We are facing this just for 70 elements. Imagine if we had 700 elements, right? So that is exactly why we had made a switch to tree data structure. And using tree data structure, we have many advantages, as the tree data structure is completely non-linear and it allows easier access and quicker access of the data elements. How is that possible? We will look into it into the next segment where we will discuss about the traversal of trees. Now, before we understand the traversal of trees, we should understand another important topic, that is the terminologies of tree. So the first one is the node. Node is the entity that contains the keys and pointer to its child nodes. So here you can see that the elements A, B, C, D, E, F and G are the elements. So each and every element, or the blue dot, is called as a node. And the blue dots here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we have 7 blue dots. So we have 7 elements here. So you can see the line between each element, right? So this particular line is called edge. Now we'll discuss about the edge in the next part. So the connecting links between any two nodes are called as edges. So we discussed about the nodes, right, where the element is stored. The blue dots are the nodes and the lines connecting between the elements or nodes is called as the edge. So out of all the nodes, this first node, that is the element A, is called as the root node in a tree data structure. So indirectly, root node is also called as the parent node of all the nodes. Now we will understand what are parent nodes and children nodes. So in a tree data structure, the node, that is the node's predecessor, is called as parent node. So here we have discussed that A, or the root node, is the parent of all nodes. So for A, B and C nodes are children nodes. And for B and C nodes, A happens to be the parent node. Similarly, D and E are the children nodes of B, and F and G are children nodes of C. And the nodes D and E have B as the parent node, and the nodes F and G have C as the parent node. Now followed by that, we will understand the descendant node. So as discussed before, the descendant node is the node that comes after the parent node. Here, the B and C are the descendants of A, and D and E are descendants of B, and similarly F and G are the descendants or children of the node C. So in a tree data structure, the node which does not have any child is called as the leaf node. Now at the end we have D, E, F and G. So these particular nodes do not have any children nodes like B and C. So these particular 4 nodes which do not have any children are called as the leaf nodes. In a tree data structure, the node with at least one child node is called as the internal node. So here the internal nodes are B and C, which have at least one child. In a tree, the total number of children of a node are called as the degree of that node. So in this particular diagram, the degree of a root node is 2 because it has 2 child nodes, and the degree of B is 2 as it has 2 child nodes. Similarly, the degree of C is 2 because it has 2 child nodes. But when it comes to D, E, F and G, the degree is 0 because they do not have any child nodes. In a tree data structure, the root node is said to be at level 0, and the children of the root node are said to be at level 1, and the children nodes of the level 1 are at level 2. So to understand this, let's go through the diagram. As you can see, this particular root node is called as level 0. And followed by that, we have the children nodes of A, that is B and C, and that level is called as level 1. And followed by that, we have level 2. And if this tree goes forward, the levels also increase accordingly. Now, in a tree data structure, the total number of edges from a leaf node to the particular node is the longest path, and this particular path is called as the height of that node. Now here we have our general tree data structure, and here you can see the height of node A is 2. And the height of node B and C together is at 1. And the height of the last leaf nodes happens to be 0. Next, in the tree data structure, the total number of edges from the root node to a particular node is called as the depth of that node. Now in this particular tree data structure, the depth of the root node is 0. And the depth of B and C together is 1 because the number of edges connecting to the node A from B is just 1, and similarly the number of edges connecting the node C from A is just 1. So the depth of both B and C is 1. Now if we consider the last leaf nodes, then the depth is 2 because if you see, G is connected to A using 2 different edges. Similarly, F is connected to A using 2 different edges, and E and D also have 2 nodes to connect to A. So the depth is 2. Now in the next segment, we will understand the tree node. So the tree data structure has data part and references to its left and right child node in the tree data structure. So here you can see this is the node, and the node has 3 segments, that is data element and the references to its left child and the references to its right child. Now there are 4 different types of trees. The first one is the binary tree. Followed by that we have the binary search tree. Then we have AVL tree. And finally we have the B tree. Let us discuss each one of them. The first one is the binary tree. A binary tree is a tree data structure in which each parent node at most has 2 children. So in this particular tree, we'll have at most 2 children. That means it might have 1 or more than 1, but not more than 2 children per node. Moving ahead, we have the binary search tree. So a binary search tree or a BST is a tree data structure in which each node has a maximum of 2 children. All nodes of the left subtree are less than the right node. All nodes on the right subtree are more than the root node. So here you can see the image or the GIF which represents the image of a binary search tree. So here all the nodes of the left subtree are less than the root node and all the nodes of the right subtree are more than the root node. The next type of the tree is the AVL tree. The AVL tree got its name after inventory Georgi, Adelson, Welsky, and Landis. AVL tree is the self-balancing tree in which each node maintains a balance factor whose value is either 1, 0, or -1. Balance factor is equals to height of the left subtree minus height of the right subtree, or height of the right subtree minus height of the left subtree. So in this particular image, you can identify it is an AVL tree. And now the last type of tree, that is the B tree. B tree is a special kind of self-balancing search tree in which each node can contain more than one key and can have more than 2 children. B tree is also known as the height-balanced M-way tree. Now in this particular GIF, we can see how a B tree looks like. Now followed by this, we will discuss the tree traversal. So traversing a tree helps to visit required node in the tree to perform specific operations. Tree traversal can be performed in 3 different ways. The first one is the pre-order traversal, where we visit the node and visit all the nodes from the left side, then visit all the nodes from the right side. So this particular GIF is an example for pre-order traversal, where we visit all the left side nodes first, then we visit the right side nodes. Now we will move ahead into the next type of traversal. That is the in-order traversal. First, we visit all the nodes from the left side, then we visit the root node, and then we visit all the nodes from the right side. So this particular GIF will be an example for the in-order traversal, where we visit all the left side nodes, then we visit the root node, and followed by that we will visit the right side nodes. And the last type of traversal is the post-order traversal, where we visit all the nodes from the left side first, then we visit all the nodes from the right side, and finally visit the root node. So this particular image on the right side is an example for post-order traversal. Now before we get into learning the applications of trees, we will try to execute one example based on the post-order, pre-order, and in-order traversals in tree data structure. So you can see that we have an example on my screen right now. So here we have the node structure, then we have the in-order traversal function, followed by that we have the pre-order traversal function, and finally we have the post-order traversal function. Now let's quickly run this program and see the output, and don't worry about the code. This particular code document will be attached in the description box below and you can have access to it. Now we have the run option over here and the program got successfully executed. You can ignore this warning, and here we have the in-order traversal of the tree and the first output. Then we have the pre-order traversal of the tree, and finally we have the post-order traversal of the tree. Now let's discuss the last part, where we will learn the application of trees. So the application of trees are as follows. Binary search trees are used to quickly check whether an element is present in the set or not. Then we have the most popular database usage of B tree, which is a variant of tree data structure. Then we have the modified version of trees called as trice, which is used in the router to store routing information. And finally, the compiler uses a syntax tree to validate the syntax of every program you write. So with that, we have come to an end of this tutorial on tree data structure. If you have any queries regarding the topics covered in this particular tutorial, then please feel free to let us know in the comment section below, and our team of experts will be happy to resolve all your queries. Until next time, thank you, stay safe, and keep learning.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.